Hello. I have no idea what I want to draw tonight. I have no idea whatsoever. Um, or color. I think I'm just gonna doodle. I don't know. Hey, Rebel.
Hey.
How are you
How
doing?
You doing?
Good. Although I have no idea what I'm doing tonight.
Me either.
Yeah, I know Tank canceled his streams for the week except for Thursday.
Oh, I didn't even know that. I just figured I'd hop on here until then anyway, but thanks for letting me know. Because he hasn't been doing it, like, the first time we did it, it was during your stream, right?
Yeah.
But, like, every other time, maybe we do a warm-up game or something beforehand, but all the streams have been at 11 o'clock my time, which is when yours ends anyway. So, like, at worst, I just dip out, like, 15 minutes early.
Yeah. Yeah, because I'm pretty sure it was from him. Well, maybe it's not. Who put this up first?
I don't know, I just had my League Plus open, which lets me know when, like, messages and if my friends are online, and he hasn't been online. And I also didn't see a scheduled stream.
Yeah,
Just figured I'd chill out here until I knew otherwise.
Yeah. Yeah, on Twitter today he posted, live streams are put on hiatus while I work on important stuff behind the scenes. Join me Thursday as I add Cross Comics and Comics STM to the CG Super Collage.
Ah, okay. See, I'm never on Twitter, so I wouldn't have seen that. Like, I only hop on to check my messages, or to send messages to people.
Yes, I am a little bit lonely today, rebellious. Although I do have Metal with me, so I'm not sure how that makes me lonely.
Less lonely.
Although,
I might as well turn my my webcam capture on then.
Although
I normally did. I was going to leave it off so I could run League in the background if I needed to.
Yeah. Hey, Flit, how are you? Although I was playing Ark today,
You're always playing Ark.
Yeah, I know. It's a game I really like, but I'm doing one by myself. Well, I've got 2 maps that I've been doing by myself, and a new one called High Brazil. I've actually put 3 episodes up. And I just did some before I went to do this, and I forgot to hit the record. So my 5th session of it for this High Brazil in map is not recorded. But that leads me to what I was saying. I got some sort of dinosaur tamed, and I named it Rebellious. And then I'm going to name another one Pastry. What happened to the video feed? What do you mean how it happened to the video?
You don't have anything coming through. It's just
yeah. Went to switch to browser and I forgot to bring my browser up. Just because I was gonna
So Rick, did you check out any of the things that I added?
Oh, not yet.
You can access them all from without going into the game from the journal.
Cool.
Yeah, I figured it'll make things a lot easier for everyone.
But yeah, I was gonna why dinos after me? I'm trying to name dinos after everybody in the chat and whatever. So I've named one. I named one Evan. That one died. I think I named.
Just like Evan.
I named one Gamatron, and somehow I think that one disappeared or died too. I don't know. I can't find it.
I named one of the robot ones after Gamatron.
Yeah. I've named one Mallet, one JP, one Joshua.
No, Rick, instead you need to name all your dinosaurs after, like, Stanley Cup hockey winners.
I would have no idea who any of those people are.
You don't like hockey, Rick? What?
It's alright, I've played it, I've watched it a couple times, I've been to a couple games in my life, but I'm not a big hockey fan.
Man, that's weird. See, I'm not even saying because you're Canadian, it's like that's one of the few sports I can legitimately watch, even on TV, because of how rough it is.
Yeah.
Though, they have been padding it quite a bit within, like, the last decade. Still one of the rougher sports, though, I like it.
Although I was gonna, just, I guess quickly, remind people to try and back the coloring book. You can do it for a minimum of $2 US. Get the digital, that's $3 Canadian. And you don't have to worry about a shipping address. I just email it to you. So, I'll put it up. I'll probably put it up on my website and email you the link to download it. I might put Hughes as a second one. I'm waiting to get one of the big eagle-like looking birds to name it Eagle. So. Yeah, and you can get the coloring book itself is $7 Canadian plus shipping. Coloring book plus sketch card. And I think I'm going to have to order some sketch cards because I misplaced mine. And I can't find them now. The few that I had left. And I've got 3 of those claims, so. Of course, the Lorenzo, where you get 2 of the book and the digital version. Or you can get the coloring book plus an 11 by 15 piece of art, which you see right here.
I still need to finish the thing I need to send you for that.
Yeah. Tank does too, so you're not the only one. And we've got 7 days left on that, so if anybody
wants... What happened was, I've been so busy working on the stuff for the RPGs that, like, when you guys got into the Flooded Plaza and I had free time, my mind just went straight to, there's a thing I've been wanting to work on, and just everything else got thrown to the side.
Yeah. And it's at 44 interior pages now, so.
Yeah. Speaking of, I actually finished typing all of the stuff up. So now every single thing you guys should already know, like shops that you've encountered and stuff, are available.
Oh, okay, cool. Okay, so what am I gonna switch to now? Let's just switch back to Clip Studio, although I have no idea what I'm doing in Clip Studio either. Because I almost, not still, Skunk Girl, I owe her 2 sketch cards for the last couple months, and I was going to do those up tonight, but like I said, I can't find my sketch cards.
What you should do is you should make some macaroni art digitally by like taking samples of actual pictures of macaroni and then copy and pasting them and rotating them into a picture.
Okay.
It's like digital arts and crafts.
I wonder whether I could do that, although I don't know what I'd be doing with it. I don't know enough how to work with it without watching videos over and over again. Blender.
But wants you to ink that piece for him because it's taken too long.
Ink what piece?
Just as this piece.
I don't even know what this piece is.
Well, if it's taking too long, it's probably one piece. That thing's never gonna end.
Well, I guess I could actually. I started working on this today. Almost finished it off. I guess I could finish this off. The thing I'm working on. And what is the thing you're working on? That doesn't tell me a lot. So I need to finish this guy's Moose's boot.
Rick, why don't you know these things? It's your job.
What? What he's doing?
It's your job to know these things.
Okay. I don't know how it's my job, but... Can we explain how it's my job first, and then maybe...
Well, it was assigned to you.
When was it assigned to me?
Just now.
Oh, okay. As long as it wasn't before now.
$18 by 24 at 600 DPI. That's a pretty big piece. That's gonna be like, what? Somewhere around 8,500, 900, or 9,000 pixels tall. I might even be shooting that. That's gonna be a tall piece.
Still doesn't tell me anything. Doesn't tell me what it's about. Nothing. You're just telling me.
Well, it tells you it's big.
It's bigger and better than extra large and not free of charge.
At least he's working at 600 DPI. I don't get why all these digital printers want things at 300 DPI. I understand that, like, that's what your average printer now prints out at home, as opposed to digital resolution, which is 72. But, like, as somebody who was doing things in school for art and was being taught how to do printing and stuff like that, we always did everything at a minimum of around 600 DPI. Sometimes even higher.
Hey.
Oh yeah, I did undershoot it.
Yeah, but just by a little bit, eh?
Yeah, I think that's actually roughly the size of a 2-page spread that I did for a comic I never finished that I still need to. The one from the Sun's Jewel where she's coming down into the library. I think I've showed you that one before. It's like all dark but lit in one spot.
Yeah, I think you have.
But that was easy to ink because the picture wasn't some ridiculously high resolution. I inked it by hand and then colored it digitally. Rick, did you remember to share this out?
No, I did not. You came on almost right away. And I'm, sitting there trying to figure out what to do.
I tweeted it, but I'm looking on like Minds for your post so I can remind it, and I'm not seeing anything.
Let me share. Share.
April Fool's Day is a long way away. It's like a whole month from now.
I wouldn't call that a long way away, but...
I mean, a month could be short depending on how you use it, but you could fit a lot of like project time and stuff in a month. You get a lot done.
Yeah. This thing I never did. I never shared this on Discord. Either.
Or if your scale of time is how much happens in a single second of a fighting game, then a month is a really long way away.
There, I just shared. Well, I just shared it on Minds. If you don't mind.
Like, I'll share things to Twitter. That's pretty much the only thing I use it for other than messages. But Minds is my preferred platform, so I'd much rather share things there.
Please watch all Rebellious pastry episodes pretty soon. I'm planning on a huge one for Fool's Day.
Well, joke's on you. I don't celebrate April Fool's Day. Mostly because I like messing with people every day of the year, and I'm not going to let a holiday tell me when I should be pranking people. You expect it then. It's like, what's the fun in that?
Well, I was doing a paper route once, and I actually ended at the end of March, and somebody that I was training took over for April Fool's. So for an April Fool's joke, I called them up after they should have been done and said, "I'm getting all these messages. No papers have been delivered." I didn't let it go on too long. It wasn't too nasty about it. I just thought it'd be funny. It was a little.
You know they don't even have, like, real paper routes over here?
No?
No, it's like some dude who's like an actual agent of the company for like the Dallas Morning News and stuff, drives around in a car and just like throws them out the window. They don't actually give it like an opportunity for like kids on bikes or anything like that.
Oh, it hasn't been kids on bikes here in years. 20,
I know, but I wanted that when I was younger, and I was disappointed to find out.
I had one as a kid for the Hamilton Spectator, which is a paper, but then they moved it to early morning paper,
Yeah.
and it became another kid paper at that point. Delivering it, adults do it. Get up at midnight or something like that, 2 in the morning, and deliver it.
Well, the problem is, like, even my, like, city, the small one that I'm in, Serial, has their own, like, I think they call it the Tribunal, like, just one of the random names that everything always uses for their papers. And to get it printed cheaper, they print under the same, like, place as the Dallas Morning News. So, instead of being able to, like, hire kids to deliver it, the same dude just throws both of them out in the same sack. It's just labels like, does this house get both, or does it just get one?
Yeah.
It's so disappointing. And that was a pretty long time ago now, right? Like, I'm almost 30, so that was probably like 20-something years ago that they already stopped letting kids do it.
I'm not sure what. I think I said which it was. I forget which of my favorite videos at the moment. Pastry. And hello, Elric.
Oh, Pastry keeps asking me this. I can't answer it. I'm not rewatching all of them again just to give you this answer. I could tell you I enjoyed what I watched, but I don't remember any individual one good enough because of the short span of time that I watched it. This is the problem with binging things. But yeah. I have a problem that I need to binge things. And I don't like things being spread over long periods of time. Because I don't like bits of stuff. I like long, continuous narratives. I like to see things like that. If I was in the old world, I'd probably be a dude who went around from like tavern to tavern listening to epics told by different bards. See, we've been here for 3 hours already. I want to know the end.
Okay, so we need this to be 6.
I'm coming to chat and Metal's talking about newspapers. You never know what I'm going to be talking about, okay? And I wasn't even the one who brought it up. Rick was. He was talking about his newspaper route.
Yeah, I forget even how that was brought up. Oh, because of April Fools.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
Besides, I can't worry about April Fools anyway. I have a cultural holiday that's coming up before then.
St. Patsy's Day!
Paddy's with a D.
St. Patrick's Day?
Yeah. Padrig.
Are the luck of the Irish.
Padrig.
Metal, if you have Netflix, one of my favorite mangas is getting an anime the way of the house husband.
I have Netflix. I almost never use it. See, the thing is, I am so far behind on literally everything because I spend so much time working on stuff that I never actually watch anything. Which is why when I do watch something, I binge it. Like, okay, I'll take this day off of working on stuff once this month to just binge watch something.
Rebellious says, I have a mallet wrench.
Mallet wrench? Is that like a big mallet with a wrench on the other side, or?
A wrench on Mallet's channel.
Okay, contextually that makes sense. It's not as interesting. No, I guess you could kind of use a big wrench as a mallet. I mean, it's heavy. You could hammer something in.
I've done it. Comes out in April, according to what I heard on Twitter. It's comedy about Yatza who quits a criminal life and is trying to adjust to normal life.
I want you to try to say that word again, Rick.
Yatsu? Yaku? Yakuza?
Yakuza? You never heard of the Yakuza? Yeah, the Mafia?
Probably heard of it, but... Oh.
The Japanese Yakuza. No, it doesn't work as well as anybody thinks. I'm aware of this, Flip. I said you could. I wasn't recommending it. That's why I own actual hammers. I actually think I have one in this room.
See, it just works in a pinch, and it doesn't work well in a pinch.
Unless, like, the thing you're trying to hammer is a human skull, then it works pretty well. But most things do. The human skull's tough, but it's not that tough. You hurt Elric's soul, just so you know.
Yeah, I read that. I was going to read it aloud, but we were seeing something else at the time.
Now, Yakuza is also a great game series that follows the life of Japanese mobs. And it's wacky as all heck.
Hey, Joshua. Every time Cross mispronounces Japanese word, Pikachu goes to the Pokemon Center. Okay, I don't get that at all, but okay.
I think he's implying that you're hurting Pikachu.
Pikachu! Pikachu! Pikachu!
Well, see, most of the Japanese words, I shouldn't be bothered at all. I mean, barely speak English. Why would you speak another language, right? But that one is just, it's such a commonly used one. Like, in American media, too.
Yeah, I probably heard it, but, to hear it and then, see it written are two different things.
Well, I think it's also because you don't look at the word that much, because it's pretty easy to sound out. I think you just, skim over the words and aren't really paying attention to what they're saying.
Yeah, somewhat. Or it's like... See, unfortunately, thanks to reading my Bible and seeing all those wacky names in there that, nobody can pronounce, or you have to be a scholar to pronounce.
I was going to say, I could probably say every single name that shows up in the Bible.
Well, most people can't. Common person can't. It's like, okay, I'm just not going to try. I'm just going to, whatever.
It's not my fault most people don't spend enough time in the tabernacle.
Uh, 24-hour Cinderella forever. Maji Mama is the best karaoke singer in Yakuzuku.
It says Maijima.
Okay, whatever.
See, that's one of those words right there, though, that I tried to say right, but it doesn't bother me when people say it wrong, because literally everyone says it wrong, and that's just the way people say it now. And that's the word karaoke. Everybody says karaoke, and it's like, whatever. That's just what people say. The word, at least in English vernacular, the words kind of just evolved into that.
Yeah. Yeah, although Tank was on my channel for a few minutes this morning for him, but this afternoon for me.
Foot says Majin Mama is better, though. So Majin means demon. It actually comes from like a Japanese way of saying the word Jin. And in Dragon Ball, at least, they also used it for like the possessed form of people that had to do with like Babidi and stuff in the demon realm. So I'm just imagining some like MILF that's possessed by a demon. All anime style is what he's talking about with a Majin Mama. That's the only picture that can be painted in my head.
And Alric, it's not my fault. It's your fault. You keep typing these Japanese names or words in.
You know that he definitely will not say it right. Like, you know this before you type the word in.
Yeah.
Like, if you want Rick to say anything right, you can't type the word as it is. You have to, like... Whoa. My volume just spiked up. I unmuted by accident. And then I heard myself yelling in my own ear. But it was like, yeah, you have to, like, type the word in, like, the way it's supposed to sound, all spaced out. Like, I'm about to throw in. And then if you type it like that, Rick will say it right.
Maybe. Your work says she'd either be hot as hell or would not, and in a good way. Woof, not would. Or hot as hell, or woof, and not in a good way.
I mean, I guess would kind of works if you're interpreting it a certain way. You know, the type of wood that you might have when you wake up in the morning.
Rebellious asks, whether you have new content out.
No, I don't. I'm working on some big things that are just going to take a while to produce.
He has new content. Well, it depends what you mean. Content by stuff on his channel. He does do something every Wednesday and Saturday.
There's the vomitorium. The thing is, like, if you were to ask me if I have new content out, I wouldn't consider the vomitorium, because even though I do work to produce it, it's kind of like passive content. It's not something like I produce. Yeah. It's like I wouldn't say the same thing for a live stream, because it's like, well, you know, unless you're putting on a big show that took a while to produce, like a lot of assets, maybe you have like everybody in the same place, different camera angles. It's like, unless you're actually doing something that takes a ton of work, I don't really put it under content as so much. It's like a radio show, which is worth getting paid for, but if somebody hopped on a radio show, they wouldn't really consider that content so much, but they might be trying to sell like a book that they wrote or something to you. Oh, Rick, if you want to show people a small peek of what I'm working on, you could show my webcam for a second or two.
Oh, yeah.
I know some people have already seen it, but those animations that are sitting there are loops from the sample of what I'm going to be working on. I have an animation series that I'm going to be producing soon. Going old school way of sprite animations, because that's what I used to do back in like high school, and I really like them.
Yeah, I'm just not used to you not doing much. So.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, it came up because the subject was asked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
and they're going to be kind of like video game beat 'em up style in a way.
I don't know. I've jumped over a little bit over the place. Unfortunately, I haven't been watching like I should. Pastry.
And obviously, they'll be more active than they are on that screen. Those are just idle animations, but
yeah,
I'll choreograph them. They'll be voice acting and all kinds of stuff. I'm going to start off with like a short for each of the 4 main characters to introduce them. And I'll try to get back to working on comics in the meantime, too, while that's going off, because it's going to take a while to get the voices and stuff from everybody. But then after those shorts, I'm actually going to make them like half-hour-long shows, so they will take a while to produce. Not too long to produce, though, compared to other animations of the same length, because once I have the sprite sheets ready for each of the character, I have reusable assets for each show.
Yeah,
it really comes down to like deciding camera angles and editing tricks and stuff like that.
Maybe putting backgrounds.
Some backgrounds might even be reusable too, like
a dojo.
Like their base of operations and things like that inside the van and all different things like that.
Or an apartment or something like that. Yes, I'm probably still stuck in 2020 thing. And Alric says also cross use just so you know, My Hero Academia might end this year according to the author. So that's the manga that's going to be ending, or the anime, Alric?
Well, the anime's not caught up to the manga, so I would assume the manga has to end first.
Yeah, well, they could decide not to, continue doing
it. It's too popular. They're not going to end it before they catch up.
He says, yep.
It'll be like 8-Bit Theater? Well, because 8-Bit Theater was based off of a comic. Like, the animated version of it is literally just like the first 25 pages of the webcomic. And this will be in the same world as my webcomic / novel. It'll just be earlier than what you've seen. And as far as, like, combat and stuff, actually, it'll probably be closer to, what was the name of that show? Let me look up. I think it's called Super Mario Bros. Z. Really great Flash animation series. From, like, way back in the day. Let me see if that was the name of it. Yes, it was. It's Super Mario Bros. Z, which is basically... I don't know why it was called Super Mario Bros. Z, even though it did have Super Mario characters in it, but it also had, like, Sonic the Hedgehog characters in it, and they were, like, doing Dragon Ball Z fights against each other. Really high pace, well animated for being done entirely in Flash. And the Koopa brothers from Paper Mario show up at some point, and they're like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. It gets really, really wacky and weird, and I think that's what I liked about it.
I might have seen
and it won't be quite like Dragon Ball Z style fights, because these are all like really, really street level stuff going on here. Like I said, it's before X Dynamis Chaos, but the animation and choreography is going to be closer to that.
Super Mario Brothers Z, kind of like Powerpuff Girls Z.
No, not even.
Flash
not even close.
Says Flash.
Oh, I love Flash. I'm sad that it's dead. I don't like animating in it. It was great back in the day, but boy, trying to do that now, especially with what I'm doing, it's like I could just bring it into Sony Vegas. And because I already have all the sprites and animations done, I could just keyframe them into each other. And I can run, like, for certain animations, I could just put a GIF in there that'll cycle until I change the frame. Like, so many shortcuts I could take with modern editors. But I have a respect for Flash. Which, funny enough, I didn't even really use Flash too much back in the day, because by the time I found out that it was free, which I wish I knew way sooner, I was kind of already done doing animation, so it didn't really benefit me. I played around with it a little bit. I did everything with Windows Paint and Windows Movie Maker, like Microsoft Paint and Windows Movie Maker, frame by frame. So actually, it wasn't even just making sprites or anything. I had to make the whole, like, basically cell, right, a frame of animation. Background, things, everything. Bring it in, repaste the background, move the sprite over slightly, and so on and so forth. Without layers. And then bring everything down to one frame. It was a pain in the butt, but I got pretty fast to getting like a minute of animation done in an hour. So I was getting pretty good at it.
Cool. She says, or Rebellious says, Flash, more like Crash. Where it says, there was a manga called World War Blue, basically a weird retelling of the console wars through the eyes of Sonic as the main character, and yet he fights alongside on the losing side.
Dedication. The dedication to some really bad animations that I scrubbed from the internet. The stuff I'll do now will be way better, but I'm also a lot more talented at this stuff than I was back then. But nobody gets to see them. I don't even know if they're completely scrubbed. One or two of them, like the mock Final Fantasy battles I did, might still be on my Facebook profile. But most of them are just gone. I have copies of them, digitally and even on CDs. But they're just gone. I even like went onto like other devices and other IPs and stuff, not logged in as me, to see like if I search the net if they would ever come up. It's like, no, you can't find them. They say on the internet nothing is truly ever gone. They're gone. Because and every artist is like this too. Like, you look at some of your old stuff and you kind of cringe at it because you're way better than you used to be. But like, I'm usually really good at looking at my old stuff and appreciating where I was at the time. I look at those and I'm just like, burn it with fire. Why did I even keep copies of these?
Rebellious says, that's a really good cartoonist. Revenge song, talk about lost media. Said Elric.
At the moment, I'm actually casting voices for the first short. I do have requirements. I'm not just letting anybody voice them. They have to fit the character. And I'm looking for 3 different voices. Very short. It's like one of the characters has maybe 3 lines. The other 2 have 1 line each. And I need a bunch of like grunts and screams that you would expect in combat, right? Like if you were just fighting somebody. Because I need 3 thugs for the first video.
Hey, John.
Hello there.
Howdy.
What you guys doing tonight?
Not much. just
Mostly just
talking,
chatting.
yeah, and I'm just trying to get this picture done so I can put it in another picture.
What's this picture?
This is my Secret Warriors together.
Hello, Elric. Are any of the Secret Warriors also in your 7 Premier Warriors?
Maybe, maybe not.
Okay, then. So what do you want to talk about since you don't want to talk about this?
Well, these guys operate during World War II, basically. So, I'm going to be doing them as trying to do it as a webcomic to put on Webtoons.
Oh,
that's a good idea.
Did you hear? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was just saying he's trying to avoid doing anything that involves the 7 premier characters, so that's a good idea for doing like a webcomic to pull people into his world, get them interested.
Yeah, and then you're going to see these after these guys are going to end up helping, those guys form a team too, so,
I don't know. I can't bring myself to care about 2 of your characters, let alone 14.
Yeah, I know. You only care about 1 at the moment. You don't even care about your own. You're going to kill them off after 4 comics, he said, so.
That's correct. He's going to die after the, when his story concludes.
As he should.
Yeah. I didn't say he was going to die young, but he is going to die when his story is over.
Well, nobody knows if there's going to be a time leap or not. Could be young, could be old. You got to follow along to find out.
That's right. None of this going on forever nonsense. Rick, what's the best story you ever read or saw?
I'm not sure. There's lots of good stories.
Rebellious wants to know if they can share a song.
Yeah, I guess so. Give me Zach Rebellious.
It's, hey yo Dillard, have we talked since my one bad night? She had a bad night?
Was this Friday?
I don't know.
Okay. Why is...
It's hard to keep up with everything when you're jumping around on streams on the internet. There's so much chat to remember.
Elric says, you want an ongoing series, Dillard? Try to start reading One Piece. No, I don't want an ongoing series.
So like the exact opposite of that.
It says, during World War II, the most famous war in modern history, and you aren't talking that story cross. I don't know what the story is yet. I've written the first page. Okay, so why is this not showing?
Yeah, you've written something. I was actually thinking about writing a new story.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Is it the Dino Riders one?
No.
Oh, okay.
It's Buckler related.
Oh, okay. Oh man, I was hoping for dinosaurs and hot chicks.
I know, right? God damn it. Why did I pick the Buckler? Why didn't I pick my Dino Rider Twisted Metals idea? Buckler related.
Okay. Sorry about that.
You should be.
You ruined the whole show, Rick.
On the live stream thing in YouTube, it's not showing the chat. So I could add
So this story that you're writing, Rick, what are the stakes of the story?
I have no idea yet.
Well, how can you write a page without knowing like what the story is?
I just the first page is a basic introduction to the characters.
You wrote a bio.
Well, not a bio. Let me get. Head up.
You wrote several bios.
We should write a story Mad Lib style.
Mad Libs.
Okay.
Rick,
Like with
what are
the audience throwing things
philosophical
in?
stakes of this story? What are you trying to tell me about life?
I have no idea yet. I guess that's something I really got to figure out. Because it's supposed to be going ongoing, not even like one issue. It's just it's just gonna be page 1, page 2, page 3, page 4.
Yeah, but you should still structure it in arcs.
Yeah,
That's the best way to handle these things.
yeah, and probably it's gonna. I'm thinking it might be some sort of introductory thing of how they met the first story, but
Why is it important how they met? What are the stakes?
I don't know. I haven't thought about it.
Like, there's gotta be a reason they come together.
Yeah, they obviously to fight something bigger than any one of them.
Not the fight. Those are the external stakes. Those are the things that are happening in the now. What are you trying to say with this story?
What are the principles?
Is the meaning of the story? What's the meaning? Is it hope?
I don't know yet.
Back to the drawing board.
Hey, I just came up with the idea of using these characters to do the webtoon. I figured it would be a good idea. But anyways, the first panel of the first page says an old man with a picture frame with a picture of the secret warriors in it, which is going to be this picture. Who are we? We were Canada's secret team of warriors in World War II. World War II. We fought crime at home and helped with some war efforts. Panel 2. Basically, I zoom in on him in the picture. Fishman. First, there was Fishman. Real name, Raymond Fisher. He was real good in the water. He could talk to and emulate sea life. And then, I go on one by one through them. Just, saying something like that for each of them. Like I said, a quick introduction. I'm not sure. I wouldn't really call it a bio. I get you.
Do you think that's really the best way to start a story to hook people in?
Well, obviously, it's one of these guys as an old man
Back.
telling it. In the beginning, there was Fishman.
Like, don't you think?
So you're doing this? You're doing this like Saving Private Ryan style?
I've actually never seen Saving Private Ryan.
No wonder you can't write a good story. What the hell?
Should make it more Platoon style. Is a better.
Have you ever seen The Shawshank Redemption?
Yes, once or twice, but don't remember real well.
Yeah, you gotta get like movies that are like very, very good stories, and then like memorize them.
Especially ones that are based off of good books like Shawshank. Well, that's more of a short story, but still.
Whatever Metal said, disregard it.
It's like Stephen King story.
Yeah, good story, Rick.
Yeah.
I was yelling at Tyler Carpenter the other day. He was doing a live stream.
What is this? Some kind of Suicide Squad? No, these guys are good guys completely to start out with. They're not bad guys being made to do sort of good stuff. Crosswind and actions. When in doubt, start off with action.
Yeah, in medias res. What were you yelling at him about, Dillard?
Well, he was asking what it takes. What does it take to make a hit IP? Why is everything failing? And I was yelling at him a detailed plan. Is it number one, before you get into character design or before you get into anything, you have to come up with an idea, a story that you want to tell, a story that's worth investing in. That's number one. Number two, the story has to have an end at some point. It's over. It's done. Nobody likes ongoing series that never end anymore. They never liked them to begin with, but that's all they had.
Well, I don't think they thought they were never going to end at first.
Yeah, that's true. And number 3, once you have your killer idea, your $1 million idea, and people start to resonate with it, that's the idea that you invest in. So you could have an idea in your head, and you say, man, mother of pearl, this idea is fantastic. And you do a little couple of things with it, and then people say, hey Dillard, hey, this stinks. This is awful. I don't like this at all. Or even worse, they're like, it's okay. It's whatever. You stop what you're doing and you do something else.
And hello, Pope Raven.
You got to get a better idea.
And what are they doing at home? Well, Moose here is a Navy officer, so he probably won't be doing stuff at home too much. And Power Man, he also works for the government, so he'll probably be abroad a lot. It would be abroad, away from home. I'm just well, probably more of the other 5 would probably be doing fighting crime, like at home, bank robbers or whatever type stuff. So as a team, they would more likely be doing stuff out on the front lines. Alric. I was talking about them in that line as a team and as individuals. Okay. Suddenly we all went silent. I don't know why we all went silent. Are you guys here? John? Metal?
What's up?
Okay. Just making sure you guys are here. Can hear me. I just threw bank robbers out. They could be infiltrators, some of them. I don't know exactly.
Why can't they be both?
Yeah.
Why can't they be something interesting?
And not everybody's
like
going to be
mimes.
And not everybody's going to be a bank robber either, or whatever. Superman fought bank robbers in, the World Wars.
Yeah, those books are crazy boring. I remember them.
Yeah. Why would you want to see somebody as powerful as Superman fight bank robbers? Like maybe an introduction thing at best.
Here it goes. Yes, Super Spider is World War II. Joshua. I hear Metal and Dillard again.
Why can't you have them fighting ghosts?
Who knows?
Or like demon mimes.
Who knows? Maybe eventually. Not saying everything.
No, I'm not gonna be interested in this past the first issue. They gotta fight these things in the first issue. I don't think I don't think my heart can handle another introductory issue where it's just an introduction.
Well, I'm not going to... I've done the quick introduction of the characters, so then I'm going to obviously get into something else.
Why do you even need a quick introduction?
just so people who know who the main cast of characters are.
Also, it's very difficult to write for even a team, like a duo. It's going to be close to impossible to write a story involving 7 characters and have it be anywhere near meaningful.
And hey,
obviously, like most people like being thrown into a story. Like, you don't even have to introduce characters. If they're interesting and they're doing something, you'll start to get people's intrigue, and then they'll want to know more about the character, and then you can go and like flashback and backtrack after that if they care.
Yeah, well, exactly. I'm not, like I said, I just read you the quick introduction, his name, and a little bit about what his powers are, and then it's on to the next character. And that's all taken care of in the first page. So, then I'm going to, I guess throw them into the midst of battle or whatever. I'm not sure exactly what. Oh, Flit has an awesome idea. Go with that. Have them fight Mange.
What the hell is Majin Mama?
Oh, it was a character that was accidentally created by Rick mispronouncing a word that Elric typed. Which has already become a much more interesting character than half of what we've talked about on stream. No, Elric, you cannot hear demon mimes coming. That's what makes them so scary. A superhero comic with a Seinfeld plot?
So a superhero story about what?
Very well.
Isn't that what Marvel and DC are trying to do?
Yeah, they're awful.
Isn't that what the Canadian Shield is?
No. Maybe
I swear, trying to make a sitcom out of that stuff. Isn't that basically just like the Harley Quinn cartoon show?
Yep. All right. So what's the theme, Rick? Is it faith?
What, for this one? I don't know, honestly.
Well, why are you not making a decision?
Because I'm not sitting down writing it at the moment.
That should have been the first decision that you made before you started.
Well, there's probably going to, since it's part of my Christian comics, there's probably going to be some faith stuff in it somewhere, somehow. These characters
stuff.
These characters are all supposed to be Christian too, so, there's that too, so.
Look, Rick, if you want to write a story, you have to play with the conflicting values, right? There's going to be faith, and then there's going to be, I don't know, some sort of situation where maybe these characters lose their faith or proof. Because you really got to stack it on, right? Maybe they find some sort of proof that there's God doesn't exist. Something that maybe doesn't make a lot of sense, to a normal person, or maybe something that makes sense too easily. Something that breaks them all up. Something that's killing them.
No.
Maybe they have to make a decision, like Matrix style, where it's like, no, I'm going into the Matrix. I don't care what Neo said. I'm going in. But they got to take a leap of faith.
It's possible.
What I always say is that the best villains are the ones who either come at you or represent a half-truth, something that kind of sounds right on the surface, so that the hero has to come back and through the resolution, whether it be combat or dialogue or some type of philosophical thing, breaks down that half-truth with the actual truth. And then you actually get like this really impactful story that the audience remembers.
See, I never even created any sort of villains for these guys, so I don't even know who the villain's gonna be or whatever. I just tried to take up Metal's idea of trying to actually do, something with my characters, beyond just the shorts, 2 to 3 panel stuff that I was doing,
Which I am glad that you're doing that. I just think maybe a little bit more thought needs to go into this.
Yeah, probably I need to get a little bit more. That's probably why I'm a little bit stuck after the first page.
So let's figure it out. You ain't doing anything, you're just drawing.
This chat needs to be a sitcom. It's your life. There's a whole genre about characters doing nothing. It's called Slice of Life. Said Flip. Maybe it's about them in a corner, them in the spotlight, losing their religion. And sometimes I don't know what the chat's saying.
I agree with Pope Raven.
What?
Who cares? It's not getting made.
It might eventually get put, if it becomes, big enough, might be put into comic form.
Well, a webcomic is already a comic form. You might eventually print it, or...
Yeah, I guess that's what I mean. What can I do for these guys?
What's a character that you have that you don't have a story for, Rick? So that we can write a story for it real quick.
Oh, lots of my characters. Obviously. What that I'd be willing to...
Nah, never mind. Willing. What? Alright, I'm gonna go eat some stew. I'll see you guys later.
Later, John. What would the show be called if Rick and his chat was a sitcom? Why you not in the YouTube chat? So he can post a link. Rick. Because he doesn't have a wrench.
I think Rick's sitcom chat show would be Much to Do About Punning.
Much to do about punning them.
No, it's Much Ado About Punning. Like Much Ado About Nothing.
I like that name, says Timothy. Elric says that Elric, because I'm boycotting Rick's show and not watching.
Oh, and that White Eagle's not in here.
Well, somebody want to type the question of why is Eagle boycotting my show again?
Probably not. Does he ever need a reason?
Guess not.
Mallet probably put him up to it. Well, he's not even boycotting it himself.
Timothy says, But you are here, Eagle. He's here, but he's not watching. So he has no idea what I'm saying.
I see Flit's Inner Imperialist is coming out. I have a lot of respect for that. Laying claim to Majin Mama before anybody else can.
Rick, I'm going to claim to him. She's now solely probably a Flit. Oh, okay. Do we really care why Eagles is boycotting? Yes and no. He's
I think it's because Rick cares too much in general.
He's done it so many times, it's becoming meaningless.
Well, you know, that's why people downvote you, is because you care. Right?
Yeah.
People react negatively to people who care too much about stuff. You gotta play it cool.
She better be hot, hot in Texas, Elric.
We talking like total ara?
And my question is, how do we know you're not what? Although, again, Eagle's not going to be able to hear this. How do we know he's not actually watching? Just typing from the Discord and saying he's not watching. Because you could do that. Cross, you better be lay claim to the next waifu idea. Who knows? Maybe Cross Comics will make it over to Japan, and one of my characters will become waifu material. Alric.
I don't know, man. I have a hard time not seeing you throw a fit because somebody redesigned one of your characters into a waifu.
Well, do you actually need to redesign the character to make them into a waifu?
No, but they will. This is Japan. Don't you know anything? Have you not seen the stuff that comes out of Japan?
Seen some of it, not all of it, and I don't know what would be redesigned and what wouldn't. Rick, let's write a story that's good and has a plot and theme. I'm not willing to do that for any character I'm actually going to produce. No. There's some characters I already have plans for, John, and I don't want to do stuff that with a character that I have plans for. Well, that is...
Rick, which one of your characters is the most Sugoi Dekai?
Is the most what?
The Sugoi Dekai.
And what the heck does that mean?
Which of your characters is the most top-heavy?
I have no idea. And I take it you mean out of the women.
Yes. Obviously, Formerly drawn Johnny Bravo style Canadian Shield is the most top heavy character. We're talking about the women here. As Elric would put it, which one of your women has the largest tract of land?
Oh, I don't know. I've never thought of that. I haven't thought of all our cup sizes.
We're talking about Japan and waifu material. This is something you need to know. I mean, they go in the other direction too. But these are the things you need to consider.
With those barrel chests are all top heavy, says Flint. Elric's laughing at me. Trying to keep up with you, and you don't know if I can do it. Oh no, I've said too much. I haven't said enough. Which female characters has... I mean, Canadian Shield Chan would be popular over in Japan. I can tell you that much, says Elric. Oh! Which, I don't... I thought I heard you laughing. I thought that I heard you sing. I thought I heard you say, saw you. Is he singing some sort of lyrics, John?
Not that I recognize. He could be.
Oh.
I mean, they kind of look like lyrics.
I don't know which character would be to have the hugest tracts of land in my universe. It's not usually something I've thought of. Dylan and Rick caught in a bad romance.
I am acutely aware of the measurements of every single one of my characters, male or female.
Timothy says it's a REM song.
REM? Yeah. Okay. I like REM. I don't know, like, all their stuff, though.
Oh, I did forget one little thing in this.
Oh, Rick, you know that's never going to happen.
Cross, which one of your female characters has the biggest tracts of land? This is the easiest way to do what they do in Harem Magus, a measuring contest. It doesn't matter, all Rick's characters. Yeah, that's not because they are Dylan, that's because I'm not the best at drawing female characters in that way. I can dream metal. Don't take that away, says.
You can dream all you want. Somebody's got to be realistic here. It's just not going to happen.
Okay, there we go. That is a character for you, Rick. What is a character for me? So basically,
pre-op linebacker, maybe.
So,
yep, that's what he was talking about.
Yeah. So basically, they all qualify for women's sports in America. Got it, Dillard.
Well, as of what happened recently, literally every person in the country qualifies for women's sports in America.
Yeah. Well, you just have to make sure you say you're a woman first.
Yeah, I mean, they don't even need verbal confirmation of that. They would let a vegetable do it if they just simply nod their head at the question.
She's calls on the power of her mid-range. Sounds like a villain, though, Timothy. Not a hero. But you did say just a character. You didn't say hero, so. So, well, I'm not going to do it right now, but I'm going to end up scanning that and coloring it. And I guess I've got to do the first panel for it. Get the first panel done for it so the picture can actually go in. And I'm actually going to redo the panel with all their pictures in. I'm going to take their headshots from this and add it in. Where is that?
Well, you know what, like, the benefit to having a webcomic is, when it comes to introducing characters, is that you really don't have to, because they're already on the site, and they could just tab over to, like, the About section and look up the bios of every character.
Yeah.
Like, half of my storytelling is done in the bios of the characters, but absolutely none of it is information you need to enjoy the story. It's just there if people want it.
And hello, Mallet. Or you can stretch out the introduction for...
Why would you want to stretch out the introduction for several weeks? I mean, unless you're doing, like, flashbacks, I guess. Like, like a panel here and there.
Or if you just
something important's going on that's actually entertaining.
Or he's doing a page a week, or he was doing a page a week. Page 1 intro, and then several pages to expand on that intro. I don't think I was planning on that.
In my comic, somebody gets attacked by a succubus within the first page.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just throwing you right into it.
Mallet says he's watching The Flash.
No, you enjoyed it? I haven't for a while, but I also don't know what's going on.
Oh, what's her name got sucked into the mirror universe last season. The Flash's wife. And there was a duplicate running around pretending to be her. Although it wasn't it wasn't Mirror Master. It was Mirror Master's wife.
No, of course, because it has to be.
She became Mirror Master, not him. And she was actually replacing a whole bunch of people with mirrored doppelgangers.
Hey, just like that one episode of Ghost Stories.
Like Timothy, we're trying to get across to make a story that starts off with a bang, not a series that changes one attack to.
He said charges one attack. You know, like in Dragon Ball, where he's just like screaming for 6 episodes straight, and then nothing happens. Yeah, it's like, ladies and gentlemen, we hope you enjoy the program, and just know, sometime during the show tonight, one of you will be attacked by a succubus.
So, your character inspired by a comic character, Super Spider, was called Super Spider, or from Spider-Man and Superman. So was your character inspired by a comic character called Super Spider, or from Spider-Man and Superman? All of them? I created my version of Superman and Spider-Man merge, Joshua. And in my Cross Comics universe, there is a comic company called Merge Comics. And in that comic company, there's a character called Super Spider, which is my merge version of them. And my character, Super Spider, before she gets powers, had read their comic book. And when she gets her spider-like powers, she ends up calling herself Super Spider based on the fact of that character in Merge Comics.
It's just Elric. No. He says if it's a way to get with a lady, I hope it's me. If not succubuses from X-Dynamis Chaos, I'll tell you that. They're like a suborder of harpy demons, and they actually eat the men. That's what they do. Like, just whole blood gets everywhere. You don't want to get with them. I mean, the worst part is you don't even get off. They just eat you.
Super Spider is the mort of the month. Whatever. Let's put it this way. I use my web comic book to show backstory for certain characters. John, I have time to do one page.
You know what he was talking about, right?
Something from some, I think, Mad.
It was Wizard magazine.
Yeah.
The mort of the month is when they displayed like the lamest characters they could find.
Yeah. Again, Timothy, I barely know anything about the character. How can you say lame character? Have you went to the website and read anything about her?
Well, first off, Rick, you have to understand all characters are inherently lame. It's your job as the marketer to sell them to the person.
Sure.
Not to tell them to go read up on a website. Unless, you actually had a comic on the website for them to read. Like, nobody's going to read a bio on a character unless they're already invested in him.
I would say true. But my point is more, I'm going to hopefully be trying to sell the character in the comic that I'm creating. So, and he hasn't even given time for that. So, to get to know the character.
Have you given yourself time to get to know the character?
More than him. Oh man, I should probably go through that stuff that you've given and maybe put out some sort of information on that. That way maybe I know a little bit more about...
Yeah, well, I mean, you don't have to put the information out for anyone, but you should definitely know that information.
Yeah, well, that may be somewhat of a Spider-Man mask, but that outfit is not Spider-Man. So not only are Spider-Man comics around during World War II, but you rip off Amalgam comics too. Technically, they never created a version of Superman and Spider-Man in Amalgam comics, Joshua. But since comic books did start back in like the 30s, 40s, you know, I guess the Super Spider character would be like Superman starting off back in the 1930s.
But he's implying that you have a ripoff of Amalgam in your comics, and that this character stole her identity from that ripped-off version.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would totally redesign that mask. I mean, even as a color change, I think for most people, it just looks way too much like Spider-Man's mask. Maybe you should make it look more like an arachnid.
Cross, if you're going to change the character from Spider to something else, I suggest changing the mask. But I'm not changing it from Spider.
They said if you're not going to.
Oh.
It's basically what I just said too. It's like you should probably redesign the mask.
Super Spider seems like a character that would be around in the 90s or something, says Joshua.
Like, you know what I would probably do is I would probably make the Super Spider mask more like a Sentai hero mask, like a Kamen Rider. But instead of making it insect-like, actually like making the muzzle part for the mouth look like the spider's kind of pincers.
Kind of like a demon armor face mask Samurai wore.
I mean, you can pull some relations, yeah. I wasn't going that far.
Because Spider-Man was created in the 60s. Yeah, Spider-Man was created in the 60s, but Superman was created in the 30s, in which was the ambience of well, I think wrong word, but that's when superheroes comics began. basically Superman. And this character operates during World War II. Again, another reason. Although, let's see. You guys are probably like her ancestor that's going to become. Take her. No, descendant. Sorry. That's going to take her name eventually. Let's see. Make that. Oh. Yeah, I can. So the mix-up comic wouldn't be. So the mix-up comics wouldn't be able to mix Superman and Spider-Man together unless Spider-Man was created sooner in your universe. Well, technically there would be no Spider-Man in my universe or Superman because they're already mixed.
Okay, Rick. I sent you a DM.
Okay, hold on.
Of the mask of Kamen Rider Agito. Not saying that's what you should use. I'm just saying look at how insect and what could be made more arachnid. Of a direction you could go instead that could end up looking a lot more original than a webbed mask that looks too much like Spider-Man's.
That looks like sort of like Masked Rider.
But that's Kamen Rider. That's what it is. It's the Masked Rider. That's the series in Japan.
No, I've seen that mask before, so.
Yeah. And there's an easy way of taking something like that and making it look much more arachnid.
Well, then again,
Yeah, you actually were drawing a lot of Power Ranger and Kamen Rider fans with that too. People just like the design.
Then again, I was thinking you guys might like this whatchamacallit version, but you guys are probably not going to hate Super Spider 2 one, which is, her descendant becoming thing.
Super Sentai. Kamen Rider.
Let's see.
As you should be saying Kamen Rider, but for some reason when you say Kamen Rider, nobody knows what you're talking about. You suddenly pronounce it Kamen. You're like, oh, I know what you are talking about now.
Yeah, there's what?
Well, I guess it's not that bad in this community since of Common America.
Crush, have I learned anything about the food that built America? It's that if you make something too close to the original, a nice manila envelope will be sent to your house, an aka a possible lawsuit. Yeah, well, the face may look close enough, but the rest of the suit is off. It's way more than 10% changed. How she gets her powers is nowhere near close to the way Spider-Man gets his powers. So.
Wait, who pronounces it Kamen Rider? Like, literally everyone I went to school with. And with, like, a few exceptions, like, one of the people I live with actually would say it right.
In me creating it, yeah, the mixed up comic universe, yes, it's a reference to Spider-Man in me creating it. But in the mixed up comic book, in their universe, they would have no idea who a Spider-Man was or Superman was. Like one of my characters, I forget what his name, that appears in the flame. He reads comic books all the time. He would never have heard tell of Spider-Man or Superman.
Rick, it's not even that it's back when we didn't know how to pronounce Japanese words. This is also Texas we're talking about.
Yeah, you keep saying that about all my characters, Timothy, when you first see them. That they're my worst character. You thought Toxico was the worst, and then you grew to like him somehow. Yeah, we know Spider-Man. I'm saying in the universe.
I mean, I'm sure Timothy could tell you this too. Being here in Texas, people just decide whatever way they're going to say something, and that's the way they're going to say it. And if you say it otherwise, you're the one that's wrong.
Yeah, you said that you didn't like Toxico. No, right when I first showed him off, you did not like him. Timothy, I don't know, or when you first saw him, I should say. I shouldn't say when I first introduced him here, because that's two different things. So then in your universe, Spider-Man would be ripping off Super Spider's mask. I guess so, yeah. Yeah, but there wouldn't be a Spider-Man in it. I don't know exactly when, Timothy. I forget when the first time you saw Toxico on my channel was.
Oh, you know what? I think I remember this too. He did say it reminded him of a Savage Dragon character, and yeah. I think I was the one inferring that was an insult. But that's mostly just because of where Savage Dragon is today. Not where it was before.
No, I do remember him saying the Savage Dragon thing too. Now, unfortunately, I don't want to go back over hours and hours, tens of thousands of hours of footage.
Oh no, Flit, you want to hear the worst part is, my high school had an anime club that was dedicated to it, and I had to walk out. I just had to walk out. Just because of, like, the way they said every single name.
I know you don't believe you said it, but you're going to have... I don't think you're going to be able to convince me that... that you didn't say it, because I distinctly remember you saying it, and there's no way easily for either of us to prove one way or another. Because just because you don't remember saying something doesn't mean you didn't say it.
And I do wish Evan was here. Evan would solve this problem easily.
And just as easy, just because I think I remember you saying it, doesn't mean you actually said it either. The only
Evan would know the exact episode it happened. He'd go back and find it within half an hour.
Let's see.
Yes. Exactly like that, Flit.
What was
I mean, they got a little better about the Sasuke part, but that is pretty much how they would say everything.
Yeah, but just because you're saying you didn't say it doesn't mean you didn't say it because you could not remember not saying it. Did I say that right? Because there's lots of things I say that I don't remember me saying.
Why is this a beef? Like, why is this a beef at all?
I don't know. I guess he doesn't want to be accused of saying something that he doesn't believe he said. Right, so. No.
Susuke? Who would say Susuke?
Rick, you're freaking out. I had no idea we were beeping just.
Yeah.
But you do.
I wouldn't even really say this is so much beefing, even though I'm the one who used the word. This is more like when you think you're being given beef and it turns out to be like a turkey supplement instead.
I agree with Joshua. I'm not freaking out.
Yeah, well, that's because my conversation's more interesting.
I like how two panelists have two different simultaneous convoyous chats. I have to come across those people too. It's annoying.
One of the most annoying ones were, I don't know if they were doing it in
You're roboting.
intentionally to annoy people there. By roboting.
Oh, you're not now. You were there for a second.
It was probably just a packet loss. No, but they would pronounce Vegeta, right, with a ch sound. They would say Vegeta, like he was some jungle cat from the savannah.
Vagina, says Timothy. This is not a beef, clearly a vegan substitute. Says Tim O'Tay.
Oh man, they were also so annoying for like no reason, right? Like they're the type of people that would insist instead of saying Saiyan, using the Japanese term like Saiyajin, but they said it so horribly. They would say like Saiyajin, and I'm like, what? If you can't even say the word right, just use the one everybody else uses.
Yes, it's Power Ranger! I'm just saying, you know. How would they fare against Billie Jean? Vegeta is now Majin Mama's number 2. Copyright photo. Flipco. But is Flipco an actual thing that it can copyright something? It's the real
I'm
question.
sure it can be. Vachito. He starts out crunchy, but when he transforms, he becomes a Vachito Puff.
Flip just did cross.
I mean, hey, it depends where he is, but in some places in the States, you can basically just declare yourself a corporate entity in a limited capacity.
He's going to be super cheesy, says
Dangerously cheesy. Yep. Just Elric going back with the Dragon Ball Z abridged quotes again.
Take that, Wales! Says Timothy.
Yeah, it was right after Vegeta and Nappa came down to Earth, and they just started doing their Havoc thing, and he's like, I had a lot of fun, Vegeta. I sunk their battleships and their whales. And then you just hear, like, Aquaman in the background going, no!
That sounds a bit fishy to me.
They did, like, a little cutaway to the Super Friends, because when the Saiyans started, like, terrorizing people, they were going to have the Justice League, like, come over and take care of them. And they're asking, like, why Aquaman was even there. And he's like, I've got whales.
That's from Robot Chicken, isn't it?
I'm sure they made fun of him in a similar way. What he needs is a crossover with Japan, because then Aquaman would have control over Godzilla. Then who's laughing? Even though, like, every superpowered member of the Justice League is stronger than Godzilla, so it really wouldn't matter. I mean, even Aquaman is stronger than Godzilla.
Well, the question is, would he? Because
Yes, Godzilla's marine life.
I just wasn't sure whether he was marine life or not.
Yeah, he spends like 90% of his time in the ocean.
Okay, guess so. He just doesn't seem marine life to me.
He's basically like a giant saltwater crocodile.
To me, marine
And
life. I guess to me, most marine life is stuff that has to stay in the water and it can't come out.
I mean, there's a lot of marine life that can come out of water for short periods. Some of them even for extended periods.
Yeah.
There's a lot of marine life that breathe oxygen straight from the air instead of filtering it out of water.
Yeah. I guess like a crab or something is considered, or lobsters are considered seafood, so, and yet they can come out of water, so, yeah, I guess so. Or just thinking.
Yeah, an octopodus can be on land for like up to half an hour.
Well, what the heck is an octopodus?
No, octopodes. That's the plural for octopus.
Oh, okay.
It's a Greek-rooted word. Or, oh, here's another one. Does Cthulhu count as sea life?
You didn't piss me off, Timothy. Takes a lot more than that to piss me off. Mantis shrimp can hurt an octopus just with its punches, says Elric.
Well, of course they can. The mantis shrimp punches at like the speed of sound. They rapidly boil the water around where they strike. That's what makes the little popping sound when they kind of like jab in.
No, I'll just let Timothy respond to my statement and then we will.
Rick, this is the worst drama stream I've ever been on.
Good. Although it looks like he's not going to respond, so. Anything you would like to promote there, Metal?
Anything I would like to promote? Yeah. You know what? Join the Fighters Guild. If you don't have a chapter in your local area, odds are you don't, contact me and become a chapter's head. It's a movement.
What is the Fighters Guild? For those that
for
don't
masculinity.
know.
The Fighters Guild is an organization for people who enjoy fighting or things related to fighting. You don't have to fight yourself. You could just be somebody who enjoys it from a technical or even a sporting aspect. You can even just enjoy media about fighting. But it's kind of like a club to, you know, bring the toughness back to world because people are too soft these days.
But do you want to be clubbing anybody with this?
Possibly.
Okay, so there you have it. Fighting Fan Club, says Joshua Hughes. So it's not Fight Club, it's Fighting Fan. It's It's Fight Fan
It's the
Club.
Fighters Guild. We'll eventually get big enough. We'll actually sponsor events and fighters, and have like spectators and stuff. Sending out newsletters. There's a few people in it.
Oh. Like JoJo's Bizarre Adventure style manliness from Part 3. Says Elric. Okay, so thanks for Metal coming on and Dylan for the short time. Thanks for everybody coming out in the chat. Also, if you haven't, go get your Cross Comics coloring book. Even if it's just the digital, it's only like $2. What's $2, guys? Hopefully you can all afford $2 to go get the digital version of the Cross Comics coloring book. Flint says he wants to see Rick and Dillard in the cage, and he says he's got money on me. Okay, so we'll catch you all hopefully tomorrow on High Noon. So bye for now. God bless. Love you all. Have a great and wonderful night.